What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the RNG team, and today is going to be the off-season preview. So, of course, as you see here, we're 9-7. We made it into the postseason, but I wanted to give you guys some time to look at everything. Look at the team needs, the incoming rookies, upcoming free agents, to let me know who we should go after, what moves we should make, all that good stuff. We're also going to go over the end-of-season awards and stats, so it's going to be a lot of interesting stuff in this episode. And to start it off, we're going to be watching SportsCenter to see who wins the end of season awards.
There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs.
Okay, so what about Johnny Bailey? We had to put him on IR. Oh, there he is. Yeah, we had to put Johnny Bailey on IR, which is so dumb. Oh my god, it's dumb. I'm sorry to talk over you, Chris Furman. These are just the games for right now. But I put him on the bench and then simulated, and somehow he still got hurt. So I guess maybe it was just meant to be.
We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears.
What?
And talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football
When
League.
did this happen? What in the world? Brian Westbrook? Isn't he like a 90 overall?
Brian Westbrook.
I will make sure to show you guys this, but I don't know how in the world he was a free agent.
He would have liked. Place to call home as he
this
accepts
man's
a
name
new
is
contract.
WM. How do you even say that?
$2.4 million. Chris Rich.
Chargers, Texans. Jeff Wilkins is a good long-distance kicker from 53. Yes,
53.
just makes it. The Texans win.
That
this one by
was
the final
63.
score of
What are you
20-17.
talking about? That's a new NFL record. What?
Dropped this one by 17.
Hey man, there's a lot of crazy things going on in the NFL in Week 17.
This week and keep their impressive streak.
Little divisional rivalry. Okay.
Surveys the defense at the
Roethlisberger playing for the Colts.
Split out. That's the tight end.
Oh, a little fake.
Coverage,
little fade route.
To the corner,
somehow. Okay.
The Colts.
Here we go.
All right, Chris. Thanks.
Here's the playoff
All right, folks,
picture.
Our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we?
Dang, that must have been a weak
begin
AFC
with a look
West.
at the AFC.
I don't know. Broncos, Chiefs, both over 5 or at 500.
Meanwhile, over in the NFC, the playoff picture looks like this.
Yeah, the RNG team.
So
I didn't
the
know we were
playoff
above the
matchups
Eagles
are set in
somehow.
stone. And we should have a few games that put the wild
round of game balls
All
go to
right,
these
the
Warriors.
prime time players.
Each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season.
I benched
All
everybody.
right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best.
What? No way!
Without a doubt, is going to take
no way!
You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic,
a
love of the game.
Rookie
that's what truly makes
MVP.
him stand out.
Oh my! Eric Becker.
Aaron Brooks has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. Obviously,
there's no
give
way.
A lot of credit to the rest
Also,
of the
how is Larry
this
not
the guy
Offensive Player of the Year?
the
Regardless,
car,
what in the world?
Arrington gets the nod as our Defensive Player of the Year. I think when you look at this award, you think of guys
this
who
man
can really
is
excel
in a
against
league
even
of his
the run
own.
the pass.
I don't know if
This
that's been
guy
done
can
before.
devote. What a year he had.
Rookie
Becker comes
MVP,
away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year
NFL.
award.
Of course, he's going to be Rookie of the Year.
Come
Come on.
come straight from college.
The only rookie in NFL history.
He stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age.
The only rookie in NFL
Moreno
history
was our Defensive Rookie of the Year.
to win the MVP award was Jim Brown in 1957.
In a landslide.
Eric Becker is
away with the rushing title this year.
I 100% expected Offensive Rookie of the Year. I thought that was a foregone conclusion. Never in my life could I have expected that Eric Becker, in his rookie season, the second player ever in NFL history to ever do it, would be a rookie MVP of the league. On that note, let's take a look at some player statistics. Eric Becker, 82 pretty much percent, 82 rating, I'm sorry, QBR. Definitely not the greatest completion or QBR, but he was so prolific with how many yards he threw. He got 21 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. You'd like to see a few less interceptions, but still, I mean, come on, man. He took way too many sacks. He really did. Rushing the ball. Eric Becker also had 5 yards of carry with 40 attempts, so 200 yards on the ground. 4 touchdowns added on to his 21, so he really had 25 to, has he ever fumbled? He fumbled once. So that is 25-15 as far as touchdown turnover ratio. Warwick Dunn ended the season with 4 yards a carry. 1,300 yards. That's a good season. That's a really good season. 12 touchdowns, of course, Avion Kaysen. He would go on to have 6 touchdowns of his own because he was, for a little while, kind of the vulture. He definitely was taking a few touchdowns away from Warwick Dunn, but Avion Kaysen, he did his thing. Receiving wise, I mean, was there ever a question? Larry Fitzgerald with 1,800 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. Antonio Bryant had an up and down season, but overall pretty good. Ended the season off with 1,000 yards and 3 touchdowns. Arnaz Battle, third on that list with almost 500 yards. You got Forrest Mendoza with 433. William Webb, I would have liked to see more, but we didn't. Just plain and simple, we didn't. Irving Erickson, Warwick Dunn had a few catches of his own. Defensively, our leading tackler, John McGraw, the free safety, the man who took a huge step up from 68 to 82 overall. Absolutely incredible. Chris McAllister, second on that list. And of course, I want to look at this stat. 0 interceptions. Oh my God. The amount of dropped interceptions from Chris McAllister. Y'all let me know if you've been watching, following along with this season so far. Chris McAllister has been horrible. I mean, I wish there was a stat for, like, passes allowed. Because there's 17 passes defended, but he allowed, I mean, we easily could be 11-5 right now if it wasn't for Chris McAllister. Anyways, Jason Shivers, 37 tackles. Pretty nice. 4 interceptions. Also, by the way, John McGraw with 8 interceptions. This man was possibly defensive MVP. Also had a defensive touchdown of his own. A few people with forced fumbles. 18 tackles for loss from Alex Brown, as well as 9.5 sacks. A little bit down from last year, but that's A-okay. I mean, overall, this defense could have played better, could have played a lot worse. Not too mad. Olindo Mare, pretty dang good. I'm very happy with Olindo. A lot of the misses, they were, here they go, from 50 plus. So overall, aside from these 50 pluses, he was almost perfect. So I'm not mad at Olindo Mare. Craig Jarrett, probably looking to move on from him. I'll show you. He's a 57 overall. Definitely got to upgrade that. But I'm going to see here, 24 punts inside the 20 is not that bad. I don't remember us getting blocked once, so I don't know what they're talking about with that. Special teams, Triondos Luke. Nah, it was nothing. Triondos is kind of a victim of the sliders right now, because he absolutely is very, very fast, good agility. Just, he's not really faster than anybody on the opposition because of the sliders. And that brings us back to the passing. So we'll also look at some league leaders for this season. Leading the league in QBR is Mark Bolger. Leading the league in yards, never a question. It's Eric Becker. The best completion percentage out of starting quarterbacks is Peyton Manning. Okay, so Peyton Manning, huge, great season. Leading the league in passing touchdowns will be Trent Green and Brad Johnson. And the fewest interceptions thrown looks to be Mike Vick. The most interceptions thrown, and oh my, never mind. Eric Becker had a great season. Look at this. He's nowhere near these guys. I mean, there are so many other starting quarterbacks throwing a ton more interceptions than him. He's pretty far down in that list right there. Good to see. Longest touchdown, there was a 99 from Thomas Brady. His name's not Thomas. And actually, look at this. Look at all these sacks. Eric Becker is about middle of the pack as far as sacks taken, which isn't that bad, not at all. Rushing leader, we saw it earlier. It was Ricky Williams. You see 6th is Warwick Dunn. He got hurt. But yards per rush. Sorry, I was fumbling over my words. But yards per carry right now is Priest Holmes or Travis Henry. They're both up to about 5. Marshall Faulk's in there. Kayvon Barlow. Yeah, not too bad from Warwick Dunn. Of course, we're going to go down and see that he had only 4 yards a carry, but that still keeps him on the list. Yards after, no, we're not going to look at that. Instead, we'll pretend like we didn't just see that. The most rushing touchdowns was from Mo Williams. Warwick Dunn with 12, just behind Mo. Most broken tackles is Ricky Williams. I want to look real quick. Warwick Dunn, 71 broken tackles. Good lord. That is just kind of sad. Kind of sad, and he's pretty far up there as far as fumbles go. Just not that great. Most fumbles lost is Kevin Jones and Thomas Jones, and then Steve McNair is also up there. What's up, Steve? And that's going to do it for rushing. Receiving-wise, most receptions, Larry. Most yards, Larry by a long shot. Most yards per reception out of starting wide receivers, going to go to probably Justin Gage and Devery Henderson. Lower on the list, you see Randy Moss. I'd consider him a full-blown starter for sure. Is he still a 100? Yes, he is. He's still a 100 overall. A little bit further down the list, you see Hines Ward, Joe Horn. That's a pretty tricky statistic because you do have people that catch 1, 2, 3 catches all season long. Longest reception, 99 yards from Tony G. And the most drops, you see it. Inexcusable. Yak is Larry, of course. Average yards after catch, okay. Yeah, we got some guys in here. That's kind of our game. Defensively, the tackle leader is Jay Bellamy with 141. Jesus. The sack leader, Leonard Little at 16 and a half. Passes defended. Samari Roll, Chris McAllister are up there. I love seeing that. Absolutely. And then John McGraw leads the league, tied with Pat Surtain for the most interceptions. Defensive touchdowns, a bunch of people with 1. TFLs, Chris Jenkins and Alex Brown is 5th on that list. Forced fumbles, we had a whole bunch of people with 1, but it's going to be Kendrell Bell, Corey Chavis. Fumble recoveries, there you go. Field goal blocks, we didn't have a single one of those. All right, so I got my drink here. I need it because, again, a lot of talking in this episode. John Carney leads in field goal percentage. The most field goals made is going to go to Shane Graham. Hey, Olindo Mare, not too bad. And Olindo Mare, again, not too bad. What is that? That is 9th on the list. He's one of the better kickers in the league. Awesome. Good to see that. Not too much else here to look at. I guess we can look at extra point percentage. If you're not at a 100% in this day and age, there's a bit of an issue, man. There really is. Punting, we're going to look at the gross average, and I think the man going to be lower on this list. Craig Jarrett's about middle of the pack. Most punting yards, which this does mean you're not getting too much in terms of your offensive production because you see most punts. Yeah. On the lower end, though, Craig Jarrett's here because, man, we move the ball on offense for the most part. The most touchbacks, Craig Jarrett. It is a little hard sometimes to control him because he's just not that good. Longest punt is 65. Punts inside the 20, Josh Bidwell with 58. Oh my god. Never mind, that's not good at all. Kick return yards. I mean, yeah, that's about what I expect. And he's actually pretty far up there in average kick return yards. I think out of the starters, he's, if you can consider that a starting position, but yeah, he's pretty much number 1. Longest kick return, he didn't have anything. I'm just going to be honest with you. I can't get kick returns with anybody. Kick return touchdowns, only man with 2 is Robert Ferguson. Most punt return yards, Triandos Luke at 2nd. And the longest punt return was from T.O. with 104. Most touchdowns. That's a lot of touchdowns for Sean Alexander. And anyways, that is going to do it for the league leaders. I know I am absolutely yapping right now, but that's pretty much what this is. And as you can see, there is the rookie watch. But we're going to look at the rookie report here in a little bit. Now, one thing I do want to mention also is we saw from last year, this rookie report doesn't mean too much. It kind of does. It definitely kind of does, but everything changes. For some reason, people lose statistics. So maybe these are just projected stats, you know what I mean? But they never mention that. I find it weird that people lose stats. It doesn't make any sense, not one bit. So, the next step, I think anyways, is to go ahead and look at an overview of the team as well as our own impending free agents, and this is where you guys come into play. You let me know who should we cut? Who should we re-sign? Who should we maybe sign and trade? And of course, once we get into the impending free agents from other teams, who do we target? Who do we target in the draft? This is all you guys. This is really as much, if not more, your team than it is mine. It really is. So, of course, Eric Becker at quarterback. I think we're good on quarterback if you ask me. Warrick Dunn is a 9-year pro in the last year of his contract. So, do we keep him around? Do we let him walk? You let me know. I'd like to keep him around. I think he had a great season with us. As you can see, 1,300 yards. But you guys let me know. Fullback, we could easily get an upgrade here. Wide receiver, I like Larry. I really do. I love Larry. Antonio O'Brien, I don't know if he's going to get any better. And behind him, it's a lot of 60s. We can get an upgrade there if you guys want. William Webb, really up and down season. Not very happy with him, but I think he could get a lot better in year 2. Tom Nalen still has another year on his contract. Guards, we got Terrence Moss, the rookie, Steve Edwards. I think we're pretty good there, unless if you want an upgrade from Steve Edwards. Tackle, Chris Samuels, Jeff Backus. Again, looking pretty good there. Defensive tackles, it is kind of... Well, I'll use this word. Sure, I don't ever use this word. It's a whole lot of mid on the defensive line, man. It really is. And it's not a bad thing. I think the D-line holds up fine, but we could easily get a much better guy either in the draft or in free agency, and that is at D-end as well. Alex Brown, I think we should re-sign him. He's been kind of the star of the defensive line for us. Jared Allen, I say we let him walk. Jerome McDougal playing opposite Alex Brown. I wouldn't mind keeping him around, especially since he has a very small contract, but maybe he should be a backup. Maybe. Outside linebackers, I of course had to sign Marquise Cooper because D.D. Lewis. Oh, he's not on here. I had to put him on IR. Johnny Bailey. And Johnny Bailey is a 74 overall rookie, of course. That's the only reason we don't see him here is because he is on IR. Instead, David Thornton, 90 overall. I mean, come on now. We can't really make a move from there. And then Johnny Bailey plays other side, so I think we're locked in at the outside linebacker position. All these guys can walk, if you ask me. D.D. Lewis is also a pretty good backup. Inside linebacker, again, you don't see it here because he's on IR. So I won't lie to you, I had to go and look. He's been out for so long that I couldn't remember his name. That's not good. But Sam Cowart is a 89 overall. So based on what I've seen out of him, and of course he's been out for a little while, but I think he's perfectly fine to stay there. Corners, Samari Roll, Chris McAllister, and Jeremetrius Butler. I think we have one of the best, if not the best, cornerback group in the league. Now, Chris McAllister has been bad and just horrible, especially in the back half of the season, but I think he can turn it back up, and maybe this is something we hold off on looking to see if we make a move until we see what he can do in the playoffs. So Chris McAllister, you may be on the hot seat, man. Just letting you know. Strong safety. The man who got the start was Defensive Rookie of the Year from last season, Jason Shivers. But we do have Alfred Moore, a rookie at 71 overall. The reason I haven't given him a start is because he has 78 speed. That is atrocious. And Jason Shivers, of course, once again, I mean, he won Rookie of the Year. How could I not give him the start? But I think we could get an upgrade from all of these guys. Free safety, the man who led the team in tackles, John McGraw. And I think another reason, real quick, that our leader in tackles was so low on tackles is because we have so many injuries, so many guys coming in and out, so there was a lot of shared tackling going on. Melindo Mare, love what he's been doing. Craig Jarrett, we could definitely make him move, although he's not the worst in the world. Our impending free agents, one more look at that. People we have to look and see if we re-sign or not. Alex Brown, Warrick Dunn, Enoch DeMar, and now we're getting back into the backups. Gabriel Wilson, Triondos Luke, Charlie Anderson, Landon Johnson, Marquise Cooper, Sean Tufts, Ed Stansbury, and Jared Allen. Let me know who we sign and who we let walk. So, next thing that we are going to do, and I think I'm actually going to make little timestamps for this video to show different parts, you know, what we're doing. This is going to be looking at all of the impending free agents from other teams, people who could walk. And this is huge right here. The first team we see, Marcus Stroud. Granted, I think with 40 mil in cap room, they're going to re-sign him and probably Ionis Williams. But this is where I will give, I'll just go ahead and go through and show you everyone here. Jeremiah Trotter, they could let him walk, and the only reason he's so low is because of his injury. Same thing with Justin McCarron's. But yeah, I'm just going to be going over anything I mention will probably be people that we could make a move for. Jonathan Sullivan's 82 overall. That is someone we may go after right there. The Steelers looking like pretty light on the free agents for this year. Looking through here, Dwayne and Grady Jackson. More people we could go after because I think the D-line is a position of need. Richard Seymour out. Could they let him walk because he's injured? Very possible. We'll look at that once we get to it. James Davis, Brett Favre. Oh, man. Titans, Victor Green. Yeah, the Titans, very, very light free agency. The Vikings, even lighter with only 3 people. And, yeah, no one we need to worry about there. Unless if we go after Shane Leckler. Very, very, very possible that we go after Shane Leckler. Niners are not going to let Peyton Manning go anywhere. James Farrior even, I don't see, but maybe Justin Smith. And he is such an insane pass rusher. I'll show you right here. 84 speed, 86 pass rush, 74 tackle, and he's pretty solid covering the run. I think we have to go after him if he's there. Joseph Jefferson. I wanted Keith Bullock. I'm a big Keith Bullock fan. I'm a Titans fan. Mike Vrabel. Hey, maybe. The Bengals, Amon Green, Charles Tillman. Dang, they have a lot of players. You can see there, they got a lot of players going into free agency. The Bills, pretty much same thing. Lots of players, but no one near as good as the Bengals we're dealing with. Broncos, you know, no one that I'm too worried about here. Definitely not. Maybe Kennard Lang, but he's pretty slow. Browns, I'm not seeing anyone of interest. A few players got Shelton Quarles, Robert Porcher, so there's that. Donovan McNabb, no way they let him walk. Too much cap room. Even Tom Ashworth, I don't see them letting him walk. They could easily just re-sign all of them. Derek Brooks, they have too much cap room to let him walk. Joey Galloway, he'd be pretty interesting to bring to the team maybe. Aside from that, no one there. For the Chargers, Muhsin Muhammad, Eric Steinbach, Aaron Schobel, who I like Aaron Schobel, so maybe him. Olshansky and Bowens. Olshansky is very young, so he could take a major step forward if they let him walk. Lavernius Coles, Chris Hansen, please take a seat. Marvel Smith, Eric Warfield. And yeah, I mean, it could be an interesting free agency from what I'm seeing so far, right? I don't see too many people that are going to be let go, but I think there could be a couple of guys in there who draw a lot of interest, not just from us, but from other teams around the league. Cowboys, a couple of guys there. Mo Williams, really no one from the Dolphins. The Eagles have quite a few. They have Mike Allstott. Matt Hasselbeck, they'll probably bring him back. He's pretty good. Casey Wiegman, Brandon Lloyd. That kind of trails off right there. Falcons, Tommy Harris. Hey man, we could go after Tommy Harris. Maybe not the Tommy Harris that I remember from like Madden 08 where he was like a 97 overall, something like that. Yeah, he isn't that Tommy Harris, but he's still pretty good at 81 overall. Giants, no one really from the Giants. McCutcheon's out, so his overall is a little lower. Javon Curse. Okay, if Javon Curse is in free agency, I will leave it up to you, but I 100% want Javon Curse. I really, really do. Behind him, though, as far as these guys go, not really anyone I'm too worried about. Michael Bennett, and Leroy Glover. If Leroy Glover's in free agency, Namdi, they're gonna let Namdi go, and I want Namdi. He's one of my favorite players ever. Lions, Tony Richardson, Kendrell Bell, Brian Waters, Marcus Ryan. There's a few guys here, man. On every team for the most part. Tyrone Calico. Okay, I will ask you guys, please say yes to Tyrone Calico coming to the team. Man, I'm a big fan of Tyrone Calico. 94 speed, 6'4". What else does he do? 77 catching isn't bad. 77 route running. Consistency's at 97. I want Tyrone Calico, so please, guys, say yes. Panthers, only 3, but some decent ones. Dahani Jones. Travis Hall's probable, so his overall's a little lower. And Kerry Collins. Patriots. Oh, that's actually huge. Okay, real quick. Panthers, division rival. Do they let Kerry Collins go? And if so, who's behind him? Cordell Stewart. Maybe they go quarterback. So that's something to watch out for. Patriots, Arturo Freeman. No, they don't have anyone going into free agency, really. The Raiders have Deshaun Foster, Jake Plummer, Jason Fabini, Jason Sehorn, Will Allen. Quite a few guys to look out for there. The Rams have a few guys to look out for as well. I think Roman Pfeiffer will likely retire. Ravens, going to be Brian Urlacher. They're not going to let him go. David Akers, Sean Ellis, Kurt Warner. They could let him go. They have this rookie here, Ricky Drake. Is he any good? Not really, but they still might let him go and go with the rookie. Washington doesn't have anybody. There's no one. I mean, come on now. Nothing going on there. And then that wraps up the impending free agent list. If there was anyone there that made you go, ooh, kind of like I had a couple of guys that made me go, ooh, let me know. Going into the rookie report, again, this is subject to change as we've seen, and it will change, but it's worth going over. Quarterbacks, I don't think we need to really look at it. Any quarterbacks? Kent Sims does look pretty dang good. Orville, his name is Orville. I don't want anybody named Orville. Zachary White. Roberto Sparks, but Terrence Neal, I think, is someone to actually spend maybe a very late round draft pick on. He runs a 4.51. That's really the only reason. The fastest running back in the draft is Roland McCormick, and he's tied with Mike Hardy. But Roland looks just a little bit better. I don't know. All the running backs, if you know anything about this game, you know that they go so early that it's really not worth going after any of them. But if you want to spend a first round pick on one, hey, let me know. Fullbacks, I mean, we can just get a fullback probably in free agency. And oh my god, Spencer Hansen runs a 4.24. He's someone to look out for. Yeah, 4.24. 4.34 from Lynn Williamson. Ding, ding, ding. Someone to look out for. Sean Bryan is 6'6". Runs a 4.41. And out of anyone I've seen so far, he has the most yards, the most touchdowns, the most receptions. Sean Bryan, very well. As you can see here, he's top of the list. I think he might be a must draft. He looks way too dang good. Tommy Lindsay, he's also a little bit shorter, 6'4", a lot less yards, receptions, a few less touchdowns, but he could be a better pick for maybe like the 5th round if he's still there. At tight end, we could go tight end. We really could. And I think Matt Wells could be pretty dang good, but Jeffrey Franklin is so much better. I don't know why I said that. Jeffrey Franklin, he might be a must draft. 4.71, one of the faster guys, so many yards, so many touchdowns, so many receptions. Here's all the centers for now. There's going to be more added, but I think we're good at center. I think we're good at guard, but I'll show you all the guys here. And you see Alan Gomez with some of the least sacks allowed. Right now, it's looking really weak at the guard position. At the tackle position, not gonna lie to you, man, also looks pretty dang weak here. Now, usually what you want to see is the first number, that sacks allowed, to be really low, and the pancakes to be really, really high. And right now, I'm not seeing anyone who has both of those. It's just kind of one or the other. So I don't think we need to spend any picks on a draft. What? I don't think we need to spend any draft picks on a tackle, is what I'm trying to say. I might have just had a stroke right there. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Good lord. Kicker. I think we're cool at kicker. Punter. Do we really draft a punter? Do we really draft a punter? And if we do, I think there's only one guy here, and it's the guy with the most reps in Earl Singleton. Yeah, there's really no one else to draft, I think, except for Earl Singleton, if we go with that route. Ding, ding, ding. Must draft, from what I see right now. Henry Swanson, the second fastest in the entire draft, with some of the best stats I think I've ever seen at the D-tackle position. Absolute most tackles, absolute most TFLs, most sacks aside from Marion Rowe, who might also be a must draft. Wow, Henry Swanson looks freaking great, man. He looks insane. Aside from that, though, Abraham Cohen looks pretty dang good. So we got a couple of guys on this list that 100% I think we should go after. Defensive end, and I'm going to try and go to the top here so we can look at the best ones, please. Defensive end, here are the fastest guys. You got Anthony, Randall. So he's a bit down the list here, but Eric Schultz looks great. Absolutely great. Good size. I think he is the second fastest, tied for second fastest in the draft at his position with a 4.57, which is crazy coming off the edge. The most tackles I've seen so far. Yep. And most sacks, or at least tied for it. Yeah, he looks freaking great, man. We got some good defensive linemen in this draft that we could look at. Gonna go through, look at a few more of these guys. Again, this is pretty much up to you who we go with. I like Dwayne Houston. He looks really good. Yeah, man. In a situation where we really need defensive linemen, this is so far looking like a great draft to need defensive linemen. Patrick Delgado. Some pretty decent numbers, man. Maybe not the most of all these guys, but I really like a 4.4 40-yard dash out of an outside linebacker. That just makes me happy right there. Benny Gilbert has some of the most tackles, but way too slow for my liking. But I really like Joshua Webster. Of course, he's the #1 outside linebacker in the draft for a reason. He's got everything you want out of an outside linebacker. Same thing here, Delbert Riley. I think he gives you a lot of the same attributes as Joshua Webster. Just all the things you want to see out of an outside linebacker. Inside linebacker, if we decide to go with that, here you go. There are some pretty great options at the top here with Chester Patton and Benjamin Neal. The fastest I looked is James Vega. Just not as skilled as some of these other guys, at least from what we're seeing out of the stats. And stats play a huge factor, especially in inside linebacker, because they are the most likely to be getting tackled, to get interceptions especially. Maybe not sacks unless if you run a lot of design blitzes. But yeah, man, Elmer Boone looks great. I just wish he was a little bit faster, but I'll go ahead and flip through these as well. I'm always doing this too to give you guys a look to see maybe there's some sleeper picks that won't be picked for a little while. Corner, I don't think we need any cornerbacks, but here they are. Oh my. Must draft. Calling it. Leon Peterson is a must draft. He is the fastest. He runs a 4.4, and I really value speed at the safety position, especially with these sliders. He is 6'2", which is freaking huge for a safety. That is insane size out of your safety. And his stats are pretty like middle of the pack, but what really sells me on him is his athleticism. 4.41 is crazy. Baylor, I like that school. I don't know why I said that, but I like Baylor as a college program. But also, I'm going to go ahead back and show you these. These are the best guys in the draft. You see 276, 41, 23. Remember those numbers, because when we go over here, he's not too far off. He really isn't. So I think Leon Peterson must draft. I'm going to go ahead and flip through these real quick to show you any other guys. At strong safety, I don't think we need free safety at all. John McGraw has been fantastic. But here you go. Oh. 4.38 and a 4.43 from A&M that has 272 in his tackles, 22 interceptions. All right, maybe we do get a free safety, even though we don't need one if he's still there way later in the draft. You know what? I'll end it on this. Looky there. Our rookie quarterback, Eric Becker, with the MVP. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Well, that's going to pretty much do it for the offseason preview. This is a bit of an unorthodox episode that I do pretty much every year. Every season of these, for all the series, I will continue to do them. It is a lot of talking. Good Lord, it's a lot. But it is very important because I want you guys to have as much input as possible. This is all, it's very much fan-based. If you guys say something, chances are I'm going to try it out at least. Or I'll at least acknowledge it. I always do. So I read all comments, every little bit of it. I want to also 100% thank you guys for all of the support. We just hit 200 subscribers on the channel, and I just see so much support every single video, every time I upload. I love it. It feels amazing. So thank you. And, well, the next episode of the RNG team is going to be our first playoff game. I am excited. I'm so excited. And I'm going to see you guys there. Go ahead. Y'all take care now.